Well, hello. My name is Trần Xuân Cẩn. I'm now studying in grade 9 at Hà Nội Amsterdam High School for the Gifted. I've just received my score and it's an 8.0 overall, listening at 9.0, reading at 8.5, and both writing and speaking at 7.5. So when I started to think about studying for the IELTS test, my main priority back then was to secure a spot in one of the many high schools around Hanoi, because the high schools for the gifted, they have really low acceptance rates, and so I think that it's best to be safe and secure a place at one of the lowest schools, but at least I don't have to drop out. So I first found out GLN because my aunt's son was starting to go into college, and then he needed the IELTS score so that he could secure a spot there, and also to improving his chances of having a job later on. And well, she decided to let him study here. I first found out about GLN because she advised me to check out when I tested my starting score here, and it was, well, abysmal. So I decided that I needed to study more. And my speaking and writing were just based by an AI, and they were pretty close to my actual IELTS score by then. And their price for studying was reasonable and much more cheaper than all of the other places. And so I decided to study here for the reinforcement course with Miss Fritzy for a month. Well, when I first came here to study, my first impression was that the staff was really friendly. They taught me everything. They gave me advice, and they also helped me a lot throughout the process of getting used to the space that I study in. And Mrs. Fritzy, she was also really friendly too. She taught me everything that I needed to know about the IELTS test, and she also supported me a lot along the way. So when I started, I got a 9 in both listening and also reading, partly because I study in gifted school, and they teach us a lot on those. But my writing was, well, abysmal. It got only around 6.5, and my speaking was also 6 or 6.5 if I remember correctly. And over the period of, well, I'd say a month or so, and my grades really improved. Well, in all 4 of the skills, my main concern was writing, since I can speak fluently and my listening and reading weren't terrible. So then, one of the main ways that I decided to deal with this is that I write a lot. I wrote a lot. From task 1 essays to task 2 essays. I wrote about every subject that I could possibly think of, and it started to sharpen my skills in writing, and it led to me an improvement of starting from like 5 or 6 in writing to up to now is 7.5. And I also improved my writing and speaking scores. I set up a lot of band 9 writing and speaking examples so that I could read them and understand that how are each of these structured, and how can I change them so that they become mine and they will stand out differently from the rest. So because of my writing and speaking really low scores, then I had to combat with them. Well, firstly, my teacher, she gave us an all-round tutorial on how to prepare for the writing and speaking exams, on all the types such as process, bar graphs, or even pie charts. And they really helped me to consolidate a thorough understanding of those. And for the speaking, she helped us focus on how to gain a good score and some hard vocabulary that we could use in our speaking test. So when I took the IELTS test, one of the problems that I had to deal with, mainly because that I was still at a young age, was that I didn't experience much of life. So, for example, a task 2 essay would ask me about something that is mainly political, and I had to write an argumentative essay on it. It became really hard, and I had to start to deal with it. I started by reading lots of magazines, such as There's lots of magazines such as New York Times and also started to watch on CNN or BBC. And after that, the speaking was also really hard because he asked me about national identity and also what we could do to preserve it. And it was a really tough subject, but I think I tried my best. And in the future, I think I would probably need to experience more of life to get a better understanding. So throughout the period of studying at GON, my mom has really helped me a lot. She helped me with the coursework and helped me just finish all the assignments that I need to do. She also picked me up and also drove me there every day. And I'm really proud because I have such a caring mother and she's been a real help. As a person who has just received an 8.0 in IELTS test, I'd say that you need to grind, because without grinding, then you wouldn't be able to even improve by just like 0.5 or 1 overall. As I remember when the first day, when the teacher said that if you need at least three months of intensive research and also practice to gain at least 1 or even 1.5. And practice makes perfect, I always believe so. And not just that, we also needed to learn more from books and also read more articles and newspapers in English so that we can hone our skills in all four of the criteria. Well, to use 3 words to describe GON, I might say that it's a cozy place, really helpful staff and teachers there, and also the last thing is that the environment is really good for those who wanted to study IELTS and gain a good score. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope that you guys can get a good score in your IELTS test. See ya!